guys, what is happening, and welcome back to a brand new video on the DC5. So I owe you a first drive video, and this is what happened. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So as you know, the car has been turboed for about a month now, and I still owe you a first drive video. I was meant to do it the following weekend when I was off, but something bad's happened, so it's only right that I show you what's actually going on and how we're going to try and fix it. So yeah, let's show you. Right, so let me do my best to explain this. So on the day, I think it was like a Thursday or Friday, obviously on the weekend after, I wanted to do like a decent driving video, and I want to show you guys what this car is about. Long story short, I took my brother out in the car, did a couple of pulls. I haven't really I've launched it once. I launched it once at the Tegiwa meet, and I haven't really done it since then. I don't know if you know where this is going, yeah, but the car won't go into gear when it's running. So we've got to find out what the hell is going on. So if let me show you. So right, so car's in neutral, yeah. So we get gears. The clutch pedal, yeah, I've noticed the clutch pedal has dropped. There is literally, the pressure in that pedal is like, there's hardly any pressure in that pedal now. I have no idea what's going on. So the clutch pedal feels crap, but if I dip the clutch, put it in gear, and then start the car will drive. So the car will actually move under its own power. But the problem is, when I disengage the clutch to change gear and then put the clutch back down, there's no gear at all. So something somewhere is wrong, and obviously the name of the game, doing the YouTube, we've got to try and fix it, especially with Nürburgring in a couple of weeks. So watch, we'll start the car up. So foot is all the way down on the clutch, like so. Look, so first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way into reverse, yeah. So we got all gears. So if I pop it into first, start her up, starts like a dream. So if I go boom, we're in first now, yeah. So if I let off the clutch, if I let off the handbrake, yeah, watch, literally my foot is pretty much not even off the clutch. It's moving the tiniest little bit. Look, watch, it's trying to go already. And then if I go right, come out of gear, that feels horrible. But if I pump the clutch now, yeah, oh, whoa, yeah, that feels horrible. But we've got the what the hell's going on there? There is basically no clutch pedal at all. So yeah, look, first gear, second, third, fourth, there's literally no gear, as you can see. But then if I go turn off, pump the clutch pedal, there we go. So there is many contributing factors as to why the clutch has done this. Like, I haven't even explained like how I noticed it, but I took my brother out, did a few drives, and obviously I noticed the clutch pedal went really low, and I was like, what the hell is going on with this? So I drove it to the shop like the next day, and it just didn't feel as nice to get into gear. And then literally the next day I tried to drive it, I couldn't get no gears. So something has progressively failed. I'd like to think if I'd killed the clutch or damaged the clutch, I'd like to think it would have just died like straight away. Whereas this, something's telling me like something's failed, but is it? So we need to find out what it is. So I've got the black slave cylinder and we've bled it, so pump the clutch, unloosen it, get some fluid, air out. Still no good. So before I take the box off, because I don't want to take the gearbox off, I don't want to take the clutch off, because that means spending a lot of money, even though it's already had the stage 4 competition clutch. So I kind of thought if I put the clutch in already, I shouldn't have to do it again, but as you know, it's me, it's happened. So new clutch has already been in there. It's been in there about 2,000 miles probably, roughly. Obviously we did the ring in it, sent it. So yeah, these are the things we're going to do before we have to take the gearbox off, just in case it's not the gearbox. So we're trying to think of the cheapest, easiest thing first. So yeah, let's open the bonnet, show you what we've got, and show you what we might be doing to try and fix what's going on. So sweet, let's go. So the thing I can say here is watch what you do by YouTubing and Googling stuff, because you can kind of think it's going to be worse than actually what it could be. So for me personally, the car's old, car's 112,000 miles, so if there's an opportunity to replace something, to try and solve something, I'd rather do that than go balls deep, take the gearbox off, and it might not be that, do you know what I mean? So first things first, if I was you or you're suffering from, because some issues, yeah, can relate to so many other things, so it's hard to pinpoint on what's yours, because I typed in master slave cylinder fault and then it comes up with the symptoms I'm getting, but then if you type in release bearing fault, you kind of get the same symptoms, so it could be one of many different things. So first things first, if I were you, yeah, and you're having problems with your clutch, brakes, the first thing would be check fluid. Just check your fluid. How old your fluid? Have you smashed the car around track? Just replace. These are general things that you should be doing anyway. Like me, as I've grown up and got more into cars, hope you can still hear me, I'd do those first. Fluids are the first things I'll probably do, just to change it out. So yeah, I've been told this one's brake fluid and this one's clutch fluid. So this one is really dark. I don't know if it's just had its day or what, but to me that looks really black horrible fluid. So what we're going to be doing is, I'd like to flush out all the fluid and put some new stuff in. Obviously I've got brakes as well. I'd love to do the brake fluid, but I'm just not too confident on that. But if you can see down there, I'm hoping the camera will pick it up, but you see under that pipe, literally there, it's not going to do it. It's being a sod to me. Come on, please pick it up. Hang on. Focus. No, we're not focusing. So you can see the two bolts there. That's the slave cylinder with the spring on. So it's like a rubber. Looks like a rubber kind of seal, and then obviously a metal mechanism, and then you've got like a brake line and a bleed nipple. So I'm going to whip that off now. I'm going to show you the new one anyway, but my first port of call would be fluid and then slave cylinder, and it could be worse, it could be master, but obviously we'll get into that as we go on. Right then, so in here we have a master cylinder. So this is, I just thought, you know what, whilst we're doing this we might as well change most of it at the same time. Right, so this here is the master cylinder. I bought a different variant. Is it an, I believe it's an EM2, so apparently there's something different, there I believe. EM2 one, I believe, apparently it takes the dampening out of the clutch pedal. So yeah, I've ordered this one, as you can see right here, and then we've got this here, which is the new slave cylinder. So car's on 113,000, so yeah, I think it'd be rude not to. So yeah, let's replace it. So it literally bolts on like that, I believe. So this bit goes in the fork for the gearbox, these bolt on, that one goes onto the actual fluid line, so your fluid will go through that, and then when you bleed it you'll use this one to bleed. So one to bleed, that's your feed, these bolt to the car, and then that is, I'm guessing, is going to go onto the fork of the gearbox. So when you dip your clutch to disengage, I'm guessing it's going to be that one. So yeah, I'm going to start with this first, then see how we get on. And I'm so worried about how windy this is. Look, I'm trying to pull the bonnet off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the clutch fluid, which is this one here, and then what I'm going to do, hopefully it will show you this time. Please show you. It's so dark, man. It's doing me no favours whatsoever. Come on, come on, come on, please, 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 please. There we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo them 2 bolts there, and then you can see to the left of that, that is the bleed nipple. So I'm going to undo that, drain all the fluid out. I've got a bucket underneath the car, so all the fluid will drain out, and then all it is undoing the case, undoing that pipe there, and then theoretically that bit should all pull away. So fingers crossed, let's get her out. Right guys, so you joined me from a bit later on in the afternoon and the weather has got better. So long story short, I tried a spanner on the brake line and it doesn't fit. For some reason it moves slightly on the nut, so we are not using that. So what I did was, I thought you'd probably get away with it with like sliding this on, crimping it up, but it starts to like move on the nut. So I went to Mrs. Dad's, well, Halfords didn't have any in stock, so I went for like an open-ended, so hopefully you can see this. It kind of has more points to bite onto the nut. Tried that, too big, unfortunately, that's the only one he had. They do have them Draper ones at Halfords, are like 30 quid for a few, but good old Scotty Tuati, he's come up with the goods. He said come down, come grab them. So yeah, if you look, they're a lot more angled, so hopefully get this on, crack it off, and then we can take the thing off. But the wind has been so bad, so yeah, hopefully we can get this off now. I'm gonna whip it off and then I'll get to you when it's off. Right, so what I've done is I've pulled the line off. What I found is, as I was undoing it, there's a little bit of metal, so it's like the line goes into like some sort of collar, and then it goes onto the slave. As I was spinning that, it was spinning that as well, so I've had to put this adjustable on there. 10mm, working a treat. So this is the old one that I've just pulled off. That's the collar I was on about. But should there be fluid inside this? Because it looks black and horrible. Hopefully I can pull it off one-handed. I'm having a game with this. But should it be all wet? And that looks like fluid to me. Surely the fluid shouldn't the fluid stay inside the piston? So I wonder if the seals slowly let go and it's leaking. So yeah, let's put the new one on. Right guys, so after a bit of movement, I've removed this because it made it a lot harder. We managed to get the brand new one in with the line on, so hopefully now put my fresh fluid in, bleed it, and hopefully we get gears. Right, so we undone the slave, the little nipple, let all the fluid bleed out, so we literally had hardly anything in the top up reservoir. Put the new one on, made sure it was all bolted up, make sure the nipple was tight, filled it up with fluid, tried to bleed it. Literally the pedal has sunk to the floor, and we've tried to pump it. We have started getting fluid actually coming through now, so as soon as I undo the nipple, fluid's coming through, but my clutch pedal's not getting hard, so my clutch pedal's sticking to the floor, sitting there. So we've done the nipple up, pumped the pedal 10 times, left the pedal down, undone the nipple, bit of fluid's come out, cranked it back up, pumped it again, done that probably about 4 or 5 times. There's no clutch pedal at all. So could it be master? Could it be slave cylinder? Oh, I have no idea now. So we're just like picking on different things that what it could be. So yeah, you're probably not going to be able to answer this. You might be able to answer it for other people, but hopefully by the time this video is finished, we've worked out what the problem is, how we fixed it. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed now, do some research, and then for me it's going to be a couple of hours, for you it's going to be a couple of seconds. So yeah, I'll get back to you when we're back out in the car, so sweet. Guys, what is happening? And today is the next day. So I did some research online, had a little look, and part of me believes that because the clutch pedal, so when you push the clutch pedal, it goes to master cylinder, and then I'm guessing the master cylinder goes right, you want to push some pressure down to the slave cylinder, then the slave cylinder pushes like the piston, which obviously clutch opens it and closes it. So I believe maybe, so the only two hydraulic things which would obviously cause the pedal and obviously no pressure would be obviously a bleeding it, which we tried numerous times. Apparently it's an absolute nightmare on the EP3s and the DC5s. But I'm guessing if the slave cylinder's buggered and we lost pressure anyway, and that's the reason why we lost gears, if the slave cylinder's okay, the master could cause the slave to act like it's wrong, if that makes sense. Obviously with the fact the car's been 113,000 miles, it's worth changing both at the same time. That's what I believe anyway. So I'm going to crack the master, we'll see how we get on with that. I'm going to take pictures and videos and that, so at least I know how it come off, but I believe it should be quite easy. So yeah, I'm going to open the bonnet up now, I'm going to take the clutch pedal off, and yeah, let's get cracking. So we're out on the car. I'm just going to show you what we're going to do, just to make this as easy as possible. So yeah, let's get on it. So here we can see is where the cylinder is. Look, don't get any, if you get brake fluid on any paint, it will melt it off, so be very, very careful. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to undo that bolt which supports this, and then if you can see there, that lovely bit of kit there, hopefully we can angle it in. So if you see the pipe just there, come on, yeah, there you go, you can see it. So that's the high pressure hydraulic line. So it literally runs there and then runs down, literally runs down the back here, and then it swoops down and it's literally there. So if I undo that, it's going to let all the fluid out anyway, so it doesn't matter, I'll just buy new fluid, but as long as we catch it and it doesn't go on the ground, that's fine. So we'll undo that, and then there's this little rubber hose. So it don't really matter, to be honest, because if I undo that, this can kind of come out with it. So from this side, just a case of undoing that line, which was, I think it's the 10mm, and then obviously that one there. Probably make life easier and take this strut brace off, give me a bit more room. So I'll probably do that, to be fair. I think they're like 8 or 10s. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's like 8 there. So yeah, and then we can access that and pull it out, and then it's just a case of going the other side where the clutch pedal is, ripping it out there. So as you can see there, guys, we've got a lot more clearance now. So literally the case of getting the 10mm. So we've got the new one on there. We're going to undo that. We're going to put the tray down the back just to let it drop down, and then it's just a case of this little rubber hose. We've got to transfer from this one to the new one, and then pretty much undo it from the inside. But yeah, like I say, there it is. You can see it like that. So yeah, wish me luck. As you can see, guys, it's got another one of those spinny things underneath, so I'm literally just opening it up, being as gentle as I possibly can, just to slowly undo this line. As you can see, slowly it's coming out a tiny bit, nothing major. So yeah, fluid is potentially disconnected, so yeah, when this is off, pretty much just go to the inside and we should be away. So I've removed the seat just to make life a bit easier for me. There's 2 plastic caps here and there, 14mm spanner, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's this little fir tree, and this little connector, and the seat comes straight out really easy, just to give me a bit more access to get into the clutch pedal. There's 2 little plastic trays. Undo them, you literally just spin those and they come out, and then we are left with, oh my god, that looks horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So from what I can see, which is not a bloody lot, oh god, that's so tight. Don't help with this fuse box being here either. Wonder if this can be moved out of the way. Right guys, so 2 nuts, this little clip that goes through, and the world's worst C-clip. This was horrendous to get off, man. This was a right battle, man. And that was a game and a half, honestly. So if I've done this correctly, this should come out now. Right, so we're going to take this off here, and if all is done correctly, this should pull out. So we've got the brake line, get that off. coming. It's so hard to do this one-handed, oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna cut back to you in a sec when I've pulled this out, okay? Because it's a bit difficult one-handed. Right, so it's off, and just like that. It does look a bit dirty, you know, so I don't know if something has failed, because look at all the like black. It could obviously be dirt or anything like that, but do you notice any difference? Like, this is side by side. This one isn't, I believe it's an EM2, might be wrong, I'll link it in the description, but apparently that triangle thing like dampens the clutch, so you get more response with this one. Apparently this is not as good as OEM, but this apparently has got better feedback on the clutch pedal, so obviously we went with this one. I don't think there's much in the price between the OEM and this one, to be honest with you, so but yeah, everything looks the same apart from obviously this triangle bit here. And I need to get this off. My standard one doesn't have this, so I believe I need to like crimp this end in and then get a flathead and screw that out. So yeah, let's give it a go. Some fancy tools here. Literally got the flathead, push the flathead in there, and then got the cheeky hammer, and it looks like it is going to pull out. So I believe this pulls out, and then that releases this, which then I can sit back into this one. So shouldn't be too hard. So I'm guessing pull this out, this pulls out, push that down into there, and then reuse this because we haven't got a new one. It was quite a bit of crap, so I've cleaned this up now, so this is new. And then this one should theoretically pop in like so, and then we get this, push that through there, and then put that line onto there, then push her in. It goes so easy as that. New one, lines on, that's in place. Just a case of pushing her through, put the two bolts up, pushing that pin through. That does feel a lot firmer, you know, there is a lot more, like on this one. But then if I do the same on this one, it's a lot more, it's got a lot more pressure on it kind of thing, so who knows, we shall see. Yeah, let's get her in. I just can't get away from the rain, I really can't. Ah, God, we're gonna get soaked now. Look, I'm in the mood to get this done now, and I don't want to be leaving it whilst it's raining. So what I've had to do is, I couldn't get the brake line to feed on that black thing, so what I had to do was pull it out, take that little shim thing out that locks into place. I've had to screw that black thing onto the brake line, then push the servo in, and then so you know what I might do? I might bolt this up now, and then if it stops raining I can open the bonnet up again and then continue with this, because all I need to do is just do it up that side, and this side should be sweet. Right, so we're all bolted up now, so 2 bolts top and bottom, and then obviously the clutch master cylinder kind of thing that attaches to this pedal. Obviously that's in now, but obviously there's no fluid. I'm gonna have to put the seat back in because I've got to bleed it. Whew, it's more fiddly than anything, honestly. I think it's just loads of stuff in the way, so I was using like an extension with a floppy head on it, and it's just geez. But yeah, that's all on now, and now it's time to go outside. Hopefully it doesn't rain on me, and we'll continue this now. So I'm gonna get everything into place and get it ready to bleed, and hopefully we have some pressure. Come on, like in the comments, guys, are we gonna have pressure or what? Right guys, so we've been pumping the clutch pedal, yeah, whilst keeping an eye on the, oh, we've got air bubbles in there now for some reason. This one, I believe this is for the clutch fluid, so you get that one because mass cylinder goes round down here, and then your slave. We've been draining the slave, we must have pumped it, retried it, refilled it about 10 times, 15 times, it hasn't worked. For some reason I've just took the cap off this. You say the pedals shot back up, yeah?
Oh, it's coming back up.
So for some reason, brake booster has affected. What the hell, man? Right, so after all that, nothing's worked. So I don't know if it needs to be pressurised, but when I got what the slave sits on with the spring, well, it's like the rubber mount, and then you've got the fork. I push against that and it pushes the pedal up, but it's not doing anything. So I don't know if it needs to be bled with a bleeder. Hopefully in the next clip, which will probably be in the next couple of days, but 20 seconds for you, we'll probably crack this. If not, gearbox got to come off. Obviously I did all this so it wouldn't be that, but if it is that, then they've been replaced anyway. So yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. If not, this will be the end of the video. Peace. So next day, and unfortunately we couldn't bleed it, so I have no idea what's going on. Either there's air stuck in the system somewhere which is stopping it from getting pressure, or the other thing I can think of is because I've gone to the new EM2 like slaves master cylinder. Apparently you can adjust the clutch. Man, this is so frustrating because I'm trying to work out what it is and it's like it's not helping me at all in the slightest. I genuinely don't know what to suggest now. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, oh, yeah, clutch pedal. It's coming up, like, but there's no pressure. It's like, I think that's just the spring of the clutch. There's like nothing. Right, so things we've learned is, one, the fluid was black. The fluid was absolutely horrendous. So we've kind of pushed all that out now and it's just got decent fluid in. So fresh fluid, yep, so I'm happy with that. The fluid's out of date. It says it's like 2022 fluid. So what we've done, we've ran that fluid through it, and I've ordered some RBF Motul 600 fluid, I believe. So this is supposed to be like racing kind of fluid, .4, so I can use it in the clutch line. So we've ordered some of that. We've ordered a Sealy bleeding kit. So it's like you put it on the top of the master cylinder where the fluid goes, and you pump it for pressure, and then it will cause pressure in the system through obviously the pump. And then obviously when I let it out, if there's any air that's going to be in there, then that should hopefully erase that issue. So there, my kind of cross examination is what I'm going to go for, based on, I feel like it's kind of fluid, hydraulic related, with probably air in the system, but I can't see how there can be air in the system because it literally took me an hour, 2 hours to try and bleed, and obviously it didn't go there. Failing that, so if this new bleeder, new fluid, if this doesn't work, then I believe the clutch has failed at some point. So I feel like it's weird how it slowly failed rather than just died straight away. So that's what was making me lead to believe like it could be the slave, it could be the master, or even because obviously water gets into the fluid, turns into like water, I believe, so that's where you lose your pressure. So if this doesn't fix it now, so if we're going to hopefully doing that in the next couple of days or so, if that doesn't work, then I'm guessing the gearbox has got to come off. So yeah, that'll be a nice one for you. It ain't going to be a nice one for me. I've had a few people say, oh, take it to the garage, but you know me, we don't take it to the garage. We've done this turbo build on the drive, so we ain't going to be doing the clutch on the drive. It's going to be on the road. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I do really appreciate it. Honestly, it means the world, and I'll speak to you on the next one. So peace.